So let me jump into XRP. Yeah. So I'm zooming out first. This is the daily, and I'm going to knock that off for now, and I'm going to reduce this. I just want to show you something where I think it's at a decision point, an inflection point. So I don't think we'll be posting this recording. So look at this. This is on the daily, yeah. So look at this yellow line here. So you can see it's a clear center line, and you can see it's testing it at the moment, yeah. So unless it breaks this, I'm still in my short for this impulse up is still due a correction. But again, when we look at the MAs, it looks like it's going to pop. But however, it hasn't broken this, and it's still holding the formation of the correction. But the MAs are screaming that it's going to pump. If it does pump, I believe that we're going to go up to 45 and start testing the 55 on the daily. We get a wick up to here, and again you can see this. You can see this line here as well. I think we're going to pop back up and hit this line essentially, somewhere up here. Yeah, if we break up, I think that would be the relief rally. Yeah, if we head down, it looks like, and again it's not a confirmed line, but it looks like we'll be again heading back down and heading towards this support line, this channel line. But again, it's not confirmed yet. Around 25, maybe 26. So that's what it looks like, and it's been 3 days. Actually, 3 days on the top here, because it came up. It's been 3 days sitting here, flipping and flopping. Yeah. So now when I put this on the 15-minute arc, is you can see this as a blue line because there's other yellow lines here. This is the same blue line on the 15-minute. Yeah. And this is a divergence line I have in. So now when I zoom in to the 15-minute, when I zoom into the 15-minute, you can see the play of that now. Is it come up and tested it again, and here's the divergence line on the 15-minute. So literally it's moving in this space, and it's either going to go up or we're going to head down. It did this impulse and it's topped out on the 5-minute, on the 15-minute. So you see the 15 minutes in a corrective pattern here. So even on this 15-minute, just a small correction here, just on this impulse on the 15-minute would take it down to, again, if it was a 786, it would take it down here, which would be a break. It would break below this, yeah, break below the divergence line. It may want to go back up and test it again here and then head down. Maybe the MAs there's an awful lot of MAs underneath now. It looks as pumpy as hell. So, but you can see in the short term, these two lines are the long. Well, this line is long term, and you can see where we're at right now. And it's been like this for days. Excuse me. So big accumulation pattern here. And it could be a massive bull trap because it does look like it's going to break out, and it's just setting everybody up and pulling it down. I don't think it's a bear trap because it looks so pumpy, but this impulse hasn't corrected. So this is why I'm looking and going, this impulse hasn't corrected. If it does go up because it's moving on there's a bigger set of impulses going on, I can't particularly see what it is at the moment. Yeah. So now from here, I don't think there's much more for me to. Yeah, I've essentially given you the same information here. I'll be giving you the same touches. So really, the last thing I need to do for now is just go through the MAs, yeah, and show you how pumpy it looks. But then there are resistance points. So this is the 5-minute, and again, it looks like it's in its correction, yeah. The VWAP has been flipping and flopping more than I've ever seen it between support and resistance. So there's the 15 or the 5. There's the 15. When we click into the hour, okay, again you can see that strong push up, and definitely this is an accumulation and a pump pattern, yeah. But again, it wicked out here. Here's the top, so it hasn't broken that. Is, yeah, as we go in, I'll show you where it is on the 4 hour. So you can see it testing again. Is what we really need to see is this 5 turn, and that might take a couple of hours. But you can see the push, yeah. But there's a rejection at the moment. There's a long wick on the 2 hour. That's due to turn in 15 minutes. But again, look at how eager all those MAs are. Very eager. On the 2 hour, there's the 20 crossing over to 55. So that's, to be honest, that's a little bit dramatic in the sense of if the hours turned, the 2 hours turned, what's holding it back? That's the question. Why isn't it gone? Should be gone by now. Well, one of the things holding it back is on the 3 hour. The 55 on the 3 hour has been a solid resistance, yeah. But again, you can see the challenge here. Look, the wick's breaking through, and then the 3 hour, there's a long wick here at the moment. On the 4 hour, okay, back to what's stopping it from pumping is this whole drop has been the breaking of the 20 crossing the 55 on the 4 hour, yeah. And here it is eventually testing the 55 here. It's the first time to properly test it here. And here it is on an impulse. And one of the thoughts we've had is possibly this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. It needs to do a 5, and it may it may not go above 34, 35. There is that thought that it could just go here and then come down. So that is something that we are paying attention to. But it does seem like this is the 5, and that this is over the last 3 days trying to sort itself out. But anyway, this is the test here, yeah, and it's testing it again right now, yeah. And this 4 hour is going to turn in 15 minutes, so I think we'll have our answer pretty soon. Now I'll go quickly through there's the 6 hour long wick on this at the moment. Again, this could possibly turn into a red candle. Again, depending on what happens in the Bart Simpson. Where's the Bart Simpson? Here? Oh, just like this here?
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Just yeah.
Well,
There's a lot of tracks there for a person.
Yeah, I think that might require another wick up at Bart Simpson, I think. But again, you can see the 6 hour as well here is that this 50 is coming down. So there's stuff coming down that's also really really holding it from breaking up. But you can see the battle that's going on. So now also as well on the 8 hour, you can see the 20 EMA, the 8 hour has been very solid. But again, here's the 5 coming up. This is decision time very, very soon. Here's the 9. 9's going to be pretty similar. One of the things I did notice is it did wick to the back to the 4. It did wick to the Bollinger on the 4. So here's the Bollinger on the 4 being wicked to on this candle, yeah. So the Bollinger is an MA as well. So if we go to the 10 hour, it gets increasingly pumpy as we go along. While there are resistances, you can see that on the 10 hour there's the 20 EMA holding. But again, look at the 5 pushing through, the VWAP pushing through. very close. And then look, you can see the support, the 5 and the 10 underneath. I haven't been actually talking about that, but there's a lot of support underneath. Look, you can see the 5 and 5 and the 20 here, and the 10, and then the 5. There's a lot of support underneath. Here's the 12-hour. So look at that there. There's the 10. There's the 5. Here's the VWAP. The 20 was holding it, but look, the 20 was holding it. This time it's breaking through. Hasn't tested the 20 EMA. So again, here's the top line, top peak here, and the 20 EMA is still something to be challenged here on the 12-hour. And again, that won't be so easy to get past. But you can see the support. Support has got right underneath. I think the 18 hours is pretty similar. 18 hours is the same, yeah. So on the day, look at this. You'd be asking yourself, how is this not pumped? So look at that turn, that 5 on the day. That'll be one of the things that I would be waiting for to see on the day for the pump. Here's the VWAP support, and here's the 10. Now, one of the things I'll say about this is that because the 10 is coming down and it's crossing through the VWAP, while the 5 is turned up, is you're getting this push and pull. So the first half of this day, for the most part, has been more about the up than the down. It's spent more time going up and then slowly coming down and going back up and slowly coming down. So you can see the medial line here, and again, this is a strong line to break on the daily as well at 33. So this wouldn't be easy to break through as well. It hasn't been tested yet, but it wouldn't be easy to break through. Excuse me. So again, it's which way will it go? Which way will it go? I'm still very clear of the mind that this is an impulse and it hasn't had its correction yet. So I'm still in my short. I'm still in my short to see what this wants to do, yeah. So now I'm nearly done. I'm nearly done. There's the 2-day. And again, look at that VWAP. But then look at the 5 here. So the 5 doesn't look like it's in a position to become support, although it is a little bit at the moment. Most of the time it's been down here. So, but again, this could be the turn. Okay, now I'm only going to go as far as the 3-day, and this is why I'm doing it, is that when you look at the wick, it's wicked up to the 5 MA on the 3-day, it's wicked to it. So again, this is as much as the VWAP is coming up, this is very strong the way it's touched this and held it. So that's it. That's where we are with all this. So back to the simple maths of it is back to this. If it breaks, pretty much if it breaks. If it breaks 33.26, I think it's at least going up to 34.25. It's at least going up to here again, yeah. But I reckon though, if it does break it, and it starts to move past 34.5, it starts to get up here, breaks through this line here at 35. Is if we break 35. Actually, let's put this here. Breaking the top here is a big signal. Breaking 35, I definitely think we're going all the way up and heading up to test the 55 on the daily. Yeah. So there's this. If it does get into this, it's still a bit precarious about whether it's going to just top out and come down. So it's a bit of a danger zone. When you start to see it clearly break 35, it's getting above the 20 EMA and the daily, and then we're definitely heading up for this. So this, if it does break this is definitely a danger zone for still return, but it has to get past this. If it doesn't get past this, it's going to retrace back down to. I know this says 30, 60. I have a target of 20. I have a target of 29.7. That's the 786. 29.7. Yeah. So now, if it does this retrace and hits 29.7 down here, is once it hits that again, it may bounce and decide to go up, or it may just, because of all the push up, if it gets down here, it's gonna collapse that push up. So it's quite possible that if this turns and starts heading down, is that we could be heading down for a much bigger dump. And I would suggest there's a target there of 25, 24. And again, probably the range would start around 20, 27, 27 to 25, I'd say is the range there. So there's a great trade to be made. I think the clearer one is if there's a rejection down here. This is the clearer one with one test here. If it breaks above this, is you got to be really, I would jump in on the long, but I would put a stop loss very tight and just be very cautious about it once it breaks 33, 30. I'd be very cautious about around 35. You want to see that. No doubt there's going to be a rejection and it's going to have to push back up through. So you'd want to see that very clearly and be ready to just protect yourself. Yeah. So that's it. That's me for today. Let's see how it plays out. I'd imagine by the time we hit New York in the afternoon, we might already have an answer to this. Yeah. So that's me for now. I'll hand you over to Mihaela.
Can you switch screens?
Yeah. There. There we go.
Good morning, guys. Now let's see where we are. Can you guys see my screen? Where is this screen share? There it is. Okay. Ethereum. Okay. Yes. You can see it. I'm gonna start with Bitcoin though. I'm not gonna start with Ethereum. I'll start with Bitcoin just to see where we are. And we are challenging the 50 on the 4 hour, which can be, again, just like XRP, it can be two things. It can either be the threshold for the break upwards towards the 100 and the 200, or it can be the completion of this impulse. And we've had a lovely 4 hour impulse here in 1, 2, 3, 4, and now coming up for 5. And again, we've just started this 4 hour. We've just started this 4 hour an hour ago, so we need to see how this is going to hold. And I would be looking on a shorter time frame, like an hour, to see what.
4 hours going to close in 3 minutes.
Oh, it's the 3 minutes. Sorry. My number brain still sleepy. So yeah, it's gonna close in 3 minutes. Excellent. So I take that back. Now we're looking at the 50 on the 4 hour, which is the 200 on the 1 hour. Now, usually what happens is there is a retracement from here. Now, where's that retracement gonna be, and is that a drop down towards the second bottom? That's the big question of this week. Are we gonna head up from here towards the 25K, or are we gonna come down for a double bottom? The answer to me will be somewhere around the 50 and the 100 on the 1 hour. If the retracement, and I'll put a fib on this swing, I'll put it here. Now, if the retracement comes down and touches the 100 and the 50 on the 1 hour and then bounces off there, then it might just be a 382 correction, and chances are it's going to keep heading upwards. If I'm in a short in Bitcoin, I haven't closed it. I'm waiting for that retracement to see what's going to happen. If it looks on the RSIs and generally on the momentum that it's going to keep coming downwards, I will be looking to follow it down. I think one of the most cautious things to do there would be to close a part of the position at this retracement and then leave a little bit in to see if it's going to break downwards, because there is, fundamentally speaking, there is news about a relief rally of about 40% in Bitcoin. But again, it's just news. What we need to see from the trading perspective is support being held. The 100 was held here, and then it reached the 200. Now the 200 can be its rejection on the 1 hour, or it can be its support. We need to see what's going to happen. And I would be taking my signals on the 15-minute just to be sure I'm getting in or out sooner rather than later. So I wouldn't want to see the 200 being consolidated on in the coming hours. That wouldn't be good. I'd like to see price action break below it and hold below it and come back to test the 50 and the 100 for my short. Yes, super, thank you. Now, this is where I expect the retracement to be in case it decides to go up, just a slight retracement to the 0.382 or maybe the 0.5. If it decides to head down for a double bottom, I'll be looking at the 786. That would be my target for this short, the 18,300. Or even slightly lower, somewhere around the area of 17,500. That's the area of support that we need to hold for the move upwards to continue. If we go there, we might just stay up here between 20,000 and 21,000, consolidate here today, and then continue going upwards. That might happen. Now, I don't believe that's sustainable with this lift, but again, I've seen it happen. Ethereum has done that a couple of times, so I have seen it happen in crypto. So that's where we are at the start of London on the MAs. In terms of patterns, here's the wedge it's been in, and it broke this line. I didn't like that at all. It looks like it wanted to come back and retest it. It hasn't done so. Like it sort of like went towards it, but again, I don't want to split hairs. I'd like to see this line being retested, and if it holds, the top line at 22.5 looks to be the natural lift. If it breaks, again, we're coming down for the bottom. At the moment, there is a, let me change to the 1 hour just to see. There we go. Okay. We have a little bit of an exaggerated bearish divergence here with these three tops being ascending ones higher, but the RSI staying relatively similar. So momentum hasn't increased. Even though price action has gone up, momentum hasn't followed. And that is that should be a bearish sign. But again, I'm taking level by level. Once, if it does decide to break up, it's going to be a nice lift. So it will be worth following it. But I'll be cautious. I'll be cautious making that choice, because this is a very abrupt lift upwards. Again, experience has showed me we need a little bit more of a stable base here. So I haven't yet closed my short. If I decide to close it and to follow it with a long, I will be posting my TA supporting that decision. Now, Ethereum has great support on the 4 hour as well. On the 4 hour, it's looking a little bit better than Bitcoin, because the 5 and the 10 have crossed the 50. However, we're not yet so we're not seeing these big red candles pushing down.
It's big for you, but on the screen.
Okay. So we're not seeing these big red candles anymore, but we're seeing smaller green candles. And what I'm also seeing here is this rounded top formation. So is this a sign of exhaustion, or is this a sign of retesting support? Today will tell us. Now, we've seen these tops being formed across a couple of sessions. So if this is a topping out formation, the drop is likely to be quite significant. Ethereum, unlike Bitcoin, hasn't made a higher high, so it is now looking like a head and shoulders. But in order to have that confirmed, we will need to break the support that we're holding, which would be the 200 on the hour, and then the 10, and then the 20, because all of them are holding up on the hour. Now, personally, I'd say this is a topping out. This is a topping out formation. However, the place where we are at the moment in the charts, we've just had a massive drop at the weekend, very high volatility. I am looking very cautiously at how the levels and the support lines are holding. And speaking about that, here is the famous 1150, and here's Ethereum doing a very neat progression upwards. Yesterday it didn't come back to test the 1050, 1060. I expected it to do it, and it came it came back to test the 1150. Let's have a look at the oscillators. The 15-minute is coming down. The 1 hour is turning down. Now on the 4 hour on Bitcoin and XRP, the 4 hours topped out on Ethereum as well. So I'm looking at that. I know the 4 hour can stay up there a long time, but then I'm just seeing this candle formation. I'm looking at this triple top formation. It's a perfect setup for a bull trap. So it's 3 hits to the high. Again, we are in a sideways channel. This is a sideways channel. It's had its spill here. It looks like a V-shaped recovery. So technically, if we're to look at what's in front of us, it looks like a V-shaped recovery. If it's going to break the 1150 and hold it, chances are it's going to go to 2050 and 1350. So be really mindful of either having stop losses or liquidation to protect you from that lift. I don't personally, I don't trust this lift, but then, you know, I have been proven wrong. So I will be keeping an eye on what's happening when it meets the previous high, if it meets the previous high. At the moment, on the 1 hour, we have a nice candle formation here, railway tracks, which would be good for reversal. Let's see what happens at the 1150. The same scenario as for yesterday. The only thing that I'm going to do here is change my divergence line slightly here, just to see if it is broken and how it is broken. And again, follow the levels. I'm in 2 shorts at the moment, Bitcoin and XRP. I've actually DCA'd in my XRP short and gained improved my position slightly. But I am keeping an eye on the levels, because I don't want this to be a 30% pump on either of them, and me to be trapped into them. So if it breaks the previous high, if it holds support in the coming hours, and I'd say it depends. London might do a sideways, and then New York New York might do a small retrace, because even in this lift we need a correction. So we need to see, for both Ethereum and Bitcoin, we need to see the correction of this swing and how it's going to happen. And again, I do advise you to be mindful of any MA or trend line rejection. For instance, here where it spent 5 hours and not broke this level of 236, that was a clear rejection, and again it bounced off it rather than break it. So I'd be more sensitive when it spends some time around the level and doesn't break it and then reverses upwards. So a minimum correction would be the 0.382, maybe the 0.5. And then when it gets to that, the 0.382 would allow it to hold the 1050 line for support and resistance. So this one, and then bounce off it to go higher. Yeah, so I'll be mindful of that retracement. If it is a forceful retracement and it has momentum behind it, I'd stay in the short. If it looks like it's bottoming out, I would close my position or most of my position. So that's it. That's London. And I'll see you for New York. Have a good one.
Thanks, guys.